Nigeria just turned 62. Round of applause. Nigeria is not even independent even at 62. No, don't do that. Beacons of light. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time tuning in, please like, share, subscribe to this channel. Comment below. I want to hear your thoughts, what you think, your opinions, suggestions, advice, whatever. The topic at hand today is Nigeria at 62 is still not independent. Nigeria at 62 is still not independent. Let me explain. First and foremost, I lived in Nigeria for 14 good years. 14 good years. I went to elementary school there, and I went to high school there before returning to the United States to go to college. My time there wasn't always rosy. It was some good times, then there were some bad times, and there were some ugly times. But I learned, I grew, I learned how to survive with little. So the Nigerian experiment, because it's really an experiment, has not made the so-called Nigerians free to live in peace and harmony in a country that has plenty. You see, most African countries are not free. We have not been liberated. Our colonial occupations are still there, even though the colonial masters are not physically there. They don't even have to be there because they have the so-called heads of states of these African nation states in positions of power to do their biddings. Nigeria is not independent, no matter how hard or how glamorous you try to dress her. She is still dependent on foreign actors, foreign powers, domestic and foreign. The Nigerian experience is nothing but hell on earth. The Nigerian experience is nothing but hell on earth. The Nigerian experience is nothing but hell on earth. You see, in a country that has plenty, but has only concentrated its ideology and focus on oil, it's dependent on other nations to buy from them. And when most nations don't necessarily need as much oil, what are you going to do? What are your plans? What are your alternatives? But that's by the roadside. Let's toss that aside. Let's look at the people, the experience. The Nigerian experience creates mayhem, unrest, violence. Don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. Read, if you have some money, buy this man's book. He's a professor in Nigeria by the name Dele Farotimi. I have a book. This book, Imperatives of the Nigerian Revolution. He is also the author of Do Not Die in Their War. Brilliant man. Brilliant man. You see, when I make statements, about circumstances that most African people are dealt with on this planet. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not just pointing fingers, because the problems are evident. Everyone knows the problem. The solutions are what is hard to come by. Even those who know what to do are afraid to implement their plans to a better, constructive, forward-thinking Nigeria. Do you remember October 2020? In 18 days from now, today's October 2nd, in 18 days, we will commemorate, we will remember those who lost their lives during the October 2020 massacre by the hands of the Nigerian military. Innocent protesters were gunned down unlawfully. And even if they had the right to do it, there should be alternatives. But that's the Nigerian experience: mayhem, violence, unrest. So you see, the Nigerian experience is blatant slavery. It is slavery. It is slavery. Dehumanization of the highest order. It's a place where there's no law and order. And I know a lot of people they want to vote for Peter Obi, and bless his heart, I wish him well. But the Nigerian agitators, I call them in simple terms, shadow experts of manipulation and destruction, are not going to let him rule peacefully. The moment he steps in office, even with his great plans, they will corrupt him. They will corrupt him. They will corrupt him. The Nigerian experiment is a monster. It sucks blood. It destroys. It torments. It castigates. It annihilates. And the only way we can be free as African people all over the planet is by Sankofa and Sankofa. Go back and learn what our ancient ancestors knew, not our ancestors of hundreds of years. I'm talking about ancestors of thousands of years. The ancient scribes of Kemet, those who built the pyramids, the obelisks, the Teknu, the Mir, our great men and teachers and women of great renown. Let go of this foreign religion and embrace your African spirituality. It's more powerful than your religion, than your Christianity, than your Arabism, your Islamism, your Seventh-day Adventist, your Pentecostal church, your Methodist church, your evangelist church, whatever church you call yourself, you worship to. The ancient African spiritual teachings are profound, and they are found in nature. They are more profound, and they are found in nature. We are living in the days of awakening, the days of restoring your mind, and let this mind ascend into the heavens where spiritual consciousness reigns, so we can bring the African presence back once again to this planet, and let Ma'at, the 42 declarations of Ma'at, be our guide. No savior is coming. Not Jesus, not Muhammad, not Buddha, no one. We are our saviors, and we must demand more from our politicians, for our lobbyists, for our so-called leaders who aren't leaders. We need to take our countries back by force. But while we are in the position of doing that, we need a plan to make it better for all peoples of African nation states. That's what we need to do. And with that, family, I'll leave it here, because I know the comments are coming. And I know people are not going to like what I just said. But let truth be your guide. Let's stop living in a fool's paradise. Wake up, smell the coffee. It may taste good when you digest it, but it might not be good for your health. And I'll leave you with this quote. This book here, The Power of Partnerships. We need partnerships in Africa. True ones, not fake ones. I would like to read a quote here. The quote goes like this. Today's generation of leaders and policymakers will be measured by their ability to create a global village on a human scale, a place where people can find a safe and prosperous home for themselves and their children. Time is of essence. Till next time, peace and always love.